An odd storm system is going to develop in the Caribbean the next couple of days. I want to show you the American model versus the European model. I'm not seeing it developing in anything tropically, but it is going to be a big blob of rain, kind of an unusual storm system that is going to develop and ride across for many of us. What's happening is we have one front that cleared Bermuda, the tail end of it right near Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, even Antigua and Barbuda and Anguilla, and then another system that's coming into the United States that will bring the chance of severe weather in the mid-Atlantic of the United States right here. Both of these systems are helping to draw in this moisture coming in from Costa Rica and Panama and the western and central Caribbean. That's going to bring us some heavier rain back through the Cayman Islands, stretching all the way back through parts of Puerto Rico over the next few days. Now, I do want to be in monitor mode, not for the development of something tropical. We're not seeing a hurricane or anything like that developing. I want to be clear about that. But a lot of us have had some rain the last few days, as we've talked about. And we're going to see this new storm system develop with additional rain. So eastern Jamaica, say around Kingston up toward Boston Bay, over toward Haiti, get toward Jacmel, Boston Blue, swinging back toward Port-au-Prince and the Dominican Republic, especially on the north side of the Dominican Republic. We need to be in monitor mode, so spread the word about additional flooding. Thank you for letting others know. We're going to see this flood threat through midweek. I'll show you that in a second. Watching the rivers, even the potential of some mudslides, but those rivers are going to be very dangerous. So here's the American model. Then I want to show you the European model. So we have some of the additional rain, parts of Haiti, the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico today, scattered to widespread areas of rain for us in Jamaica, through parts of Honduras, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, and Panama. So a lot of moisture in place, right? Look what happens as we work our way into tomorrow. I mentioned those two systems to the north. They help to draw in this moisture. Here's that kind of odd storm system. Cayman Islands, we're finally going to see a chance of rain. We could get some street flooding out of this. This moisture is really going to build near Jamaica and the Cayman Islands. Eastern Cuba, we're going to see this storm system develop again, not tropical in nature, and then as we get deeper into the day tomorrow, it's going to start to work its way across Jamaica, eastern Cuba, clipping Haiti, northern stretches of the Dominican Republic, and then our extreme southern sections of the Bahamas back through the Turks and Caicos on Wednesday. A better chance of rain. I want to dissect this in a second as we try to find any circulation with this. I'll show you that in a second, but then it starts to move away into the open waters of the Atlantic. Still some leftover rain. This is Thursday as we work our way into the Dominican Republic. And then as we get deeper into the week, keeping an eye on the southeastern Caribbean, we could see a better chance of scattered showers and storms Thursday into Friday. Watching that for us in Trinidad and Tobago as we get into the week ahead. Now here's the European model, different look. Here we are across the Caribbean. So here's Jamaica, for example. Cayman Islands right here. Here's Grand Cayman. Here's Haiti, eastern Cuba right here. Showing the same thing as the American model that I just showed you. Watch all this rain start to build up. This here is as we work our way into tomorrow. You can see as we get into our Tuesday, additional rain. Cayman Islands over toward Jamaica as it starts to feed in. We have that system that's up to the north, another front up by the United States. That's going to help to draw this moisture up toward the north. So as we work our way from Tuesday into Wednesday, you see this storm system sitting right over Haiti and the Dominican Republic, showing some really heavy rain. That's why we're in monitor mode. Some of us may need to take action along the rivers for that heavy rain. Haiti and the Dominican Republic, there are these fronts to the north that help to draw this up into the open waters of the Atlantic, but not before additional heavy rain. Cayman Islands, parts of Cuba, Jamaica, Haiti, the Dominican Republic, Turks and Caicos, and the southern Bahamas. And then as we work our way into Thursday, that additional rain will start to move away, but still some rain left over with this. So again, watching that flood threat. So thank you for sharing this information to get the word out. I want to give you the heads up with the additional rain on the way. Now, I'm watching this area, a little odd system, but I'm not seeing much of a circulation out of it. We mainly have the predominant easterly wind as we go over the next couple days. Here's kilometers an hour and miles per hour to keep everyone covered. Maybe a hint of a change in direction in some of the winds, as this is tomorrow, by the way, in some of the winds, but not much of a circulation with this. We'll get some gusty winds if you get some thunderstorms and get some downpours, but I'm not seeing, as I just kind of dissect this with you, this here is by Wednesday. Winds kind of out of the north and the Bahamas, still out of the east, right across the Caribbean, but no big time circulation out of this. I mentioned I'm not seeing this developing into a tropical storm or hurricane. We'll get some gusty winds as this slides by. This is Wednesday into Thursday, and you see as this kind of moves off, we'll see some stronger winds at times, but not seeing any sign of a true circulation with us. But look at these rain totals. I mentioned the eastern end of Jamaica. Get over toward Morant Bay. We're looking at 100 millimeters of rain, or 4 inches of rain will be a possibility. Watching the rivers and again some of those beautiful falls, monitoring that. Heavier rain will be a potential, not so much today. There'll be some today, but more so by tomorrow. Then we get over toward Haiti, the Dominican Republic, even this black shading showing up north of Santo Domingo, which could be upwards of 6 inches of rain or 150 millimeters of rain. That's why I mentioned we're in monitor mode. Some of us along the rivers will have to take action to get to higher ground if you're living right near the rivers, watching out for some additional flooding. So again, giving you the heads up, we've already had flooding in spots of Haiti and the Dominican Republic. Heavy rain is on the way, so thank you for getting the word out about that. Now, here are the fronts on the north side. Here's Bermuda. This first front has cleared Bermuda to the east, but kind of a mixed bag over toward the Atlantic region of Canada today. A cold rain for a lot of us, and then we'll see this system coming out of the United States. Still winter trying to hang on. Look at the snow shower potential parts of New England, and then over toward parts of Quebec and New Brunswick as we work our way into Wednesday. Now the seas with this area that we're watching and these fronts pushing off, the Atlantic waters very elevated. Near Bermuda, we're looking at about 4 to 5 meters in spots, 15, 16, 17 feet. We do have an additional chop in the Caribbean the next couple of days. This is through Wednesday, so watching out for some choppier conditions, but the Atlantic waters a little bit higher, and watching those Atlantic passageways coming out of the Caribbean starting to get a little choppier around Barbados as we work our way toward the end of the week. So looking at the rain totals, again, the Bahamas, we need rain, but it's mainly the extreme southern Bahamas near the Turks and Caicos where we could get some spots over 75 millimeters of rain or 3 inches of rain. Cayman Islands, as I mentioned yesterday, we're going to be right on the edge of some of the heavier rain. So just kind of watching this and seeing how this evolves for us in the Cayman Islands to see how much rain we get or don't get. There's the heavier rain, Jamaica, eastern Cuba, Haiti, the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, scattered areas of rain throughout the week. We could see some isolated areas of flooding. We'll get some spots over a couple inches of rain, but St. Kitts and Nevis, Dominica, St. Lucia, Barbados, rain chance not high. So again, not looking at a lot of moisture from Grenada back through Trinidad, scattered showers, Guyana, picking up again in Suriname. Later this week, some of that moisture may find us over toward Trinidad, so we'll be tracking that. Heavier rain, northern stretches of Costa Rica, closer to the water, and then back toward northern Panama, where we could get some totals of 4 to 6 inches of rain or over 100 millimeters of rain. Watching near Honduras, closer to the water, and watching our islands, Providencia, the Corn Islands, San Andres. Most of the rain stays just to the east of Belize, and we're dry throughout much of Mexico, right up through Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. So the rain chance only picks up. We're up to a 70% chance of rain favoring our eastern zones in Jamaica tomorrow. And look at us in the Cayman Islands, a 60% chance of rain, but it's going to be a close call for how close some of this rain gets. It's going to be wait and see for us. Meanwhile, Trinidad and Tobago, we have only a 30% chance of a shower, and we're mainly dry in Barbados as we go over the next 3 days. Rain chance staying limited. In St. Lucia, 20% chance the next 2 days. Same thing in Grenada. By Wednesday, an isolated 30% chance of a shower. Rain chance stays low. St. Vincent and the Grenadines staying on the low side in Martinique, and then we swing back through Dominica, same thing. The next 2 days, a lot of sunshine on the warm side and a 20% chance of a shower. Mainly dry today in Guadeloupe. Isolated shower chance, Antigua and Barbuda. Isolated shower chance, St. Kitts and Nevis and Montserrat, and the rain chance staying low, Anguilla and St. Bart's. In the next 3 days, only a 20% chance, St. Martin, Saba, and Statia. But then we swing back toward Puerto Rico tomorrow and Wednesday. A better chance of some of those scattered showers and storms with that storm system that will be moving by, up to a 40% chance on Wednesday for the U.S. and British Virgin Islands. Southern Bahamas, that's where it will be out, especially as we get into midweek with that higher chance of rain. And you see that on Wednesday in the Turks and Caicos, a 60 up to 80% chance of getting some rain. There's that rain across the Dominican Republic, scattered today, very widespread tomorrow. High concern of flooding in the Dominican Republic, a high concern of flooding in parts of Haiti, up to an 80% chance of rain tomorrow in through tomorrow night with this storm system moving by. Belize, our rain chance builds a little bit, but still kind of on the isolated side. Aruba, we're on the dry side for the most part. Curacao as well, 10 to about a 20% chance of a shower. Same thing over toward Bonaire. But in Guyana, the rain chance by Wednesday starts to pick up, and we'll see that in Suriname. It is going to start to build some as the week goes on. Rain chance stays minimal in much of Cuba, but the eastern end of Cuba, better chance of getting rain tomorrow into Wednesday. Costa Rica and Panama kind of split. Northern, closer to the Caribbean, that higher chance of getting some rain. Nicaragua, we're up to 50% chance on Wednesday, 30% chance today in Honduras, 50% chance tomorrow, and a 60% chance on Wednesday. Then we swing back toward Guatemala and El Salvador. We are dry. We're dry across Mexico City, and the rain chance stays very low across the Yucatan Peninsula throughout the next several days. 40% chance of rain in northern Colombia, 30 to 40% chance the next 3 days in northern Venezuela, and in Bermuda we have one front to the east, another one building back to the west. So again, lots to track right now. This odd storm system moving by, tracking those areas of flooding. We're going to watch out for that the next few days with the rain on the move throughout the week. The pattern getting active even late in the week, watching the better chance of rain in the southeastern Caribbean and monitoring those hurricane ingredients. I covered that a lot in yesterday's video. So thank you for being with me. Be safe with the flooding. Thank you for getting the word out. Have a good day ahead.